Hot Shots looks at a movie. World Trade Center is director Oliver Stone's take on the horror that happened on September 11th, 2001, and if you were expecting it to be as sensational or controversial as some of his previous films have been, such as the 1994 Natural Born Killers or the 1991 JFK, you would be surprised. Disappointed perhaps, but also pleasantly surprised. You see, Stone chose to ignore the big picture events and details of what happened and why on that tragic day in order to tell the real-life story of what happened to just two of the first responders who were trapped underground in the rubble when the first tower collapsed, miraculously survived, and even more miraculously were rescued almost 24 hours later. Now, you might think that a 2-hour movie consisting almost entirely of close-ups of two men trapped in the darkness and unable to move would be boring, but it's not. We also see flashbacks as the men think about their families and see the families as they try to cope and go on living while not knowing what had happened to the two men throughout that devastating day. You might also think that being practically immobile for almost an entire movie would limit the actor's ability to act and thus be uninteresting to the audience, but you would be wrong. Nicolas Cage as Sergeant John McLaughlin and Michael Pena as Officer Will Jimeno give evidence of being able to act more with their little finger than most actors can do with their whole bodies. And you might believe that it is too soon to revisit that tragic day for entertainment purposes and thus decide to avoid seeing this great uplifting film, but you would not only be wrong but also deny yourself to see a film destined to win Academy Awards all around. In addition, reliving those hours is cathartic and good for us so that we will never forget that event and never let it lose its importance to us. We might even be prepared in a similar situation when we hear, "How are you going to save people that high up? It's impossible." And thus we can reply, as one of the responders does, "We gotta try." World Trade Center shows the definition of true heroism. It should be required viewing for everyone, and I mean everyone. I'm Dan Culberson, and this is Hot Shots.